A Basic Guide to Cultural Norms by Jacksonis Oris of House Garamar, Eridanus Mons, Federal Jurisdiction, Cultural Education Center Building, 2 Room 508. Hello and welcome to the Federation Archive. If you are reading this document, it means you are ready to start orientation towards leaving your local planet and beginning a journey to the rest of the galaxy. This short guide will help you properly orient yourself towards a better path of cultural and physical understanding, so you don't end up offending anyone and causing a war, or ending up being a colored smear splattered across a wall or ceiling. The following descriptions are simplified for ease of use and will be covered in depth during your education in the coming semester. Chapter 1. Humanity and the Terran Alliance. The primary arm of the Galactic Federation's force of arms, political wing, and law enforcement force, humans are good and bad at absolutely everything. If there ever was a case for the concept of an average in living form, humans would be it. Description: tall, bipedal creatures of Deathworld origin. Ape-like in features and carry a high bone density and musculature. 2 front-facing eyes, no tails or wings, and a variance for genetics that results in their hairless skin being subject to dozens of different pigmentations and variations. Predatory in nature as pursuit predators, capable of exceptional endurance and physical feat. One of only 2 omnivorous species in the galaxy, the other being the Kalakakti-hive insectoids from Clatari Prime. Abilities. Humans are both simultaneously good and bad at absolutely everything. If ever you wanted to find an average to define all averages, humans would be it, capable of mastery of a single task to such an extent they could do their jobs blindfolded with both hands restrained, or completing a task at a nominal level, or failing at it entirely every single time. Complex jobs such as asteroid impact mining are done by spacers with an aptitude so exceptional they can do their job with almost no need for complex math equations. Whereas these same individuals wouldn't be able to properly restock a vending machine with the right kind of beverage. Roles. Roles in galactic society are everything and everywhere, from low-level maintenance and service industry jobs to high-level leadership roles or frontline combat operations. Humans are everywhere. Capable of surviving, if not thriving, in almost any environment alongside almost any other sapience, capable of domesticating previously thought untamable beasts, and having a built-in instinct for pack bonding results in humans, taking what many have come to consider as their natural and rightful place in the community, which is absolutely everywhere. Fertility. Humans have a biological reproductive system designed to allow safe proliferation on a Class 4 death world, and is consequently extremely robust to the point where a human can acquire offspring in almost any environment. The system requires little to no modification or genetic alteration in order to engage in reproduction with 80% of the species in the known galaxy. This was determined due to experiments carried out after what is known as the Tobriska incident, and is the direct result of the alliance between the humans and the Tyrannus kingdoms after first contact, universally regarded as the most disturbing and fastest first contact in history. What followed was the fastest alliance in history, followed by the galaxy's first baby boom. Laws. Humans are very well known for a sense of justice held to a code of laws. Break these laws, and you may very well face extinction. Humans have a code of honor and loyalty known as the laws of war, and no, this is not an invitation to break these laws or a sign of weakness. It is more along the lines of what they consider to be last resort options during wartime. What the laws of war are is more a list of unforgivable sins that humans have come up with. One empire once took these laws as a sign of weakness and attacked humans, almost using them as a checklist. Their species is now extinct in a following conflict that lasted 2 months. Culture. Humans are divided into 4 distinct cultural castes, though they have no distinct caste system or hierarchy depending on where you find them, but 3 distinct forms of culture can be discerned apart from the general populace. Mechanists. Humans that represent the basic form of humanity's religious caste, worshippers of a god of space, a god of machines, and a god of nature. Mechanists represent the religious face of human existence in the galaxy and are essentially cybernetically augmented warrior monks that like to build things. Army. Soldiers, officers, military types, police, and law enforcement, humans consider this group to be known as the heroes of the universe, and that has turned out to be no exaggeration. Humans have the best military and emergency response time in the universe and are almost always first on scene when something goes wrong. The Terran Alliance, alongside the Dothrakis, the Kalachakti Hive, and the Iridian Imperium, represent all basic federal military forces and law enforcement. Voidwalkers, humans that have access to the concept of the infinite. This particular caste has two distinct types. Males are part of a genus known as psionics, who can touch the shroud and engage in use of mental super abilities such as telepathy. Females are almost exclusively adept at use of the font, which is sorcery or magics. No real understanding of why this direct gender split exists has ever been determined, so they just roll with it. Here are some basic rules when engaging with humans. Humans are extremely territorial when it comes to either their juveniles or the juveniles or larvae of other species. Humans are extremely protective to a genocidal degree of either theirs or others' younglings. Do not harm them, ever. Let the parents handle them. Humans have an extremely robust reproductive system and reproductive drive and are genetically compatible with most species, even reptilians, when engaging in reproductive activity with minimal effort or only basic genetic alteration. Most species claim humans are incredible and attentive lovers. On the note of reproduction, in reference to the Tubrixa incident, the following warning applies under all circumstances. Never, never, ever, under any circumstances, for any reason of any kind, never leave a human female unsupervised under any circumstances with a Tyrannus of either gender, under any circumstances, for any reason, ever, period. Even though humans are physically appealing, in most cases, for most species, cute, do not attempt to pick one up for any reason unless given permission by the human to do so, or in a situation in which the human requires medical care, especially if the human is a juvenile. When entering a mechanist cathedral ship, remove your shoes or put on slippers and lower your voice. Be respectful and courteous at all times unless it is an emergency or a beer drinking contest. If it is a beer drinking contest, try not to go overboard. Do not engage in a contest of strength with a Marine Legionnaire. You will lose, and the humans responsible will not compensate you for any damages. Humans are very protective and emotionally attached to their pets or lesser beasts kept in their care. Do not eat one if you find it. Do not cook one and eat it if you find one. Do not try to pick it up unless you intend to give it cuddles or pet it or return it to its owner. Humans come from a Class 4 death world. Do not attempt to go there on holiday. The Dothrakian Empire comes from a Class 1 death world with acid lakes, acid rains, underground giant worms, and tank-sized bugs. Humans are a Class 4 death world species, and a species of insectoid no larger than a Dothrakian foreclaw carries 40 different toxic proteins in its fangs. You have been warned. Do not talk politics to humans unless it is their job. They find this to be extremely irritating, if not outright offensive, so don't bother with political or religious discussions unless you want to get your face removed. Do not gamble with humans. They are extremely adept at lying or masking their intentions, so do not engage in games of gambling involving real money. They will bankrupt you. Human lawyers are evil, pure, absolute, unadulterated evil. Do not approach them. Humans have an endoskeletal structure and need clothing for warmth and comfort. Unless you are attempting to engage in behind-the-bedroom door activity, do not ask a human of any kind to remove their outer garments unless you want to be beaten to death or face a sexual harassment lawsuit. Human lawyers are pure evil, especially during a sexual harassment case. Do not approach or engage. These creatures are evil. The humans have something called the Internet, an interconnected system of computer communications networks that allow instant communication or access to media. Please ensure that unless you want expensive psychological counseling, you activate your web browser and check settings to enable Rule 30 for filtering. This concludes the basics of humans. In the next volume, we will be explaining the nature of the Tyrannus kingdoms and their structure. Jax Onus Oris of House Garamar, Eridanus Mons, End Chapter 1.